What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Viewhouse Centennial for a great Xfinity Monday Live. We got Jordan Domineck, former CU buff, NFL hopeful, in the house ahead of, well, let's just say the biggest day of your life coming up here. Yes. NFL draft coming up in about a week and change. What a crazy couple of months to be an NFL hopeful, for lack of a better word. What's it been like for you the past few months?
So the past few months, honestly, I started training like right after the season in like December, January. Officially started training, January 2nd when everything started. I've been training over at Pivotal, which is in Centennial, Colorado. I've been training with Pat. I signed with Peter Schaefer with Authentic Athletics, and it's just been a hectic, 4 months actually. So it's just been training, making sure everything's like in tip-top shape and everything. CU's Pro Day was an amazing event. We had a lot of coaches turn out. We had a lot of people go out there and do what they needed to do. They made, I feel like they made a few heads turn, and then I was able to be invited to the Broncos Pro Day as well. So it's been just a great few months. I've gotten a lot of hope in the next, just for these next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'm able to hear my name called on the draft and everything. But yeah, it's been a hectic 4 months, but it's definitely something that's worth it. The grind is real, and it's been great.
We're looking forward to hearing your name coming up as well. You talked about, obviously, CU Pro Day, and then you went for the Broncos local Pro Day. What were those experiences like? What kind of feedback have you gotten?
So the CU Pro Day, I feel like I did all right over at the CU Pro Day. I could have done better with my numbers, but hey, it's all just a learning curve and everything like that. So I'm grateful for the opportunity. I was grateful for the things that I did out there. I feel like I was able to turn a few heads. I did get a little interest. My agent, per se, he doesn't really tell us too much about, what these coaches are saying, what these coaches are doing. It's just, look, you're going to grind. It doesn't matter what they're saying. You're going to keep working, keep going. Because at the end of the day, nothing's ever given. You always got to earn everything. So that's what he's been really instilling into us and everything. And then the Broncos Pro Day as well was great. It was great to be out there. A lot of local guys they had. One of my boys that I actually grew up with, his name is Tony Pierce. He was over at Colorado State as well. And then basically the entire CU Pro Day seniors were out there as well. So Derek McClendon, Taj Alston, Cavassier Smoke. We had Javon. We had, who else was out there? I believe it was me and then Roger Ward. Cool. So we had a lot of people out there that, it was just a great thing, a great showing. Everybody went out there and did their thing. I feel like we all looked pretty well to those coaches, and I feel like we were able to turn a few heads. So it's just been an amazing experience overall, and I was just blessed with that opportunity.
Well, that is just awesome. And, Jordan, one of the interesting things this time of year, these Combine Pro Day drills that you're training for, the 40, the shuttle, all this stuff, the question is always, how does this translate onto the field? How do you balance training for football and then training for, kind of Pro Day and what they're looking for there?
So in Pro Day, it's really trying to make you a track athlete. How fast can you really run? How fast can you move? How fast can you cut? And although you're not really training the exact things that you want to train for like just football aspect of it, there are things that you do within the workout that actually just improve just your overall being of an athlete. So the way I train, we have a guy named Pat, who's our main man, that's me. I've been training with Pat, and he would just teach me little techniques, not even just on the 5-10-5 shuttle of just trying to get out and everything, but just the ways that I can have my body set, the way I can actually turn my body, and the way I can, plant, just different things, different little techniques that you can use, not just in the drills, but also that you can take in and implement them into football. So now that we're already done with the Pro Day and everything, now we're actually getting into the full nitty-gritty defensive line training or D-end outside linebacker training for me as well. So it's been a pretty hectic grind, but just being able to understand and having a trainer is great as well that knows how to break down like actually what you're doing wrong, be able to give you the feedback that you need to be able to make a positive, just have a positive impact on what you're doing. And just being able to break down the drills that he has, not just for, this is just for Pro Day and this and that, but also as well as, telling you, hey, this is how you're going to be able to do this on the field. This is how you're going to be able to implement that on the field. So it's just a give and take, and it's a lot. But just being able to understand and have the cognitive ability to, be able to see what you actually need to do with the drills and everything is just great.
As you can tell, there's so much that goes into it, and it's so much fun. And we're so happy tonight to have Jordan Domineck here on the show with us. We got a lot more to talk about. Got to talk about your season at CU last year, and so much more coming up here on Monday Live. Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live here at the Viewhouse Centennial, and we are so pumped tonight because we got Jordan Domineck in the house, former CU buff. You might have recognized him when his time in the black and gold, but now we're waiting to find out what uniform he ends up in the NFL. But let's talk about your season last year. You led the team in tackles for loss. So much fun to watch out there. Just a game wrecker. How do you feel like your game translates to the NFL?
I feel like my main thing about my game is that I am somebody that's really just going to give it all every percent of the play. Like, it doesn't matter what play it is. It doesn't matter how much we're up by, how much we're down by. Like, I'm just a big motor kind of guy. Like, I like to run. That's one thing that a lot of people will say about me. Like, he'll never give up on a play. He's never going to stop. Even when, like, I'm drop dead tired, I'm always going to try and sprint. Even if I start cramping up, like, that's just something that I like to do. So I feel like that's going to be just, like, I'm just a high motor, high energy kind of guy, and that's what I really like to show forth and just, you know, it's always just been see ball, go get ball. So I feel like that's the kind of thing that I feel like that's an aspect of mine that I'll bring to an NFL team that's really going to, you know, make a difference for me. I feel like I'm able to actually, you know, and I learn a lot. I learn well, I feel like, as well. So I'm able to listen and take coaching and just understand what somebody's saying and try to implement that into my game. So I'm always open to coaching. So I feel like those are my high qualities that an NFL team would get if they were to draft me.
Absolutely. We certainly saw all of that on display, too, last year. And you were part of that Louis that Coach Prime brought over. You went over with Coach Prime in year one. You know, what was it like being year one of the Coach Prime experiment in Boulder?
The Coach Prime era, that year one was unlike anything I'd ever seen. So when I first came in, I actually came in during January when he first got there as well. So just seeing how the team was changed from that spring through the summer and just the entire, just, what do you call it, the culture that they were bringing with them. It was just insane to see, especially coming from Georgia Tech and Arkansas. It was a completely different vibe, a completely different culture. Coach Prime has himself, like, you see how he walks with an aura. He walks with a swagger that a lot of people don't have. And having him out there at Colorado definitely brought a lot of hate, but also a lot of love, a lot of attention to the Colorado Buffs, everything. So just being able to be out there and just be a part of that entire process, whether it was from the first team that was there to the summer team to the team that we played with in CU this past season, it was just an amazing experience overall. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And it's definitely something that it's an environment that not everybody can thrive in, but when you get in there and you thrive and you actually dig in and do the work and actually become the person that Coach Prime is trying to mold you into, that the coaches there are trying to mold you into, you see the kind of success that you get when you truly buy into a program.
That's awesome. And then when you think about it now, year two, it feels like there's so many changes that have happened from year one. What do you think year two is going to be like there up in Boulder?
Year two is going to be something special. I saw the O-line that they got. I've seen the defensive ends that they've transferred in. I've seen the people that they brought in with me that I had. Shout out Kyrie, shout out Arden, you know, them boys, they're always doing out there. Tajay McCoy, I've seen he's put on a lot of weight. That boy is going to be a problem. And just the entire culture around there as well is just changed. It's not a soft, used to losing culture. This is a culture that's want to be built on winning. And that's a culture that they truly want to get out to the whole world, honestly. Like, hey, this is the culture that we want to bring. We're not a soft program. We're not this program that's just, we're okay and content with losing. No, we're coming here to win, and we're going to win in style. And I just love it. And I feel like this next season is really going to show what Coach Prime has to offer in his CU Buffs. It's going to be insane, and I can't wait to see it.
Woo, we're going to have to give Coach that as some, advertising material because, boy, was that a good preview. I'm pumped up for the fall now. We can't wait. We're so thrilled tonight. We got Jordan Domineck on the show, kind enough to join us as he prepares for the NFL draft. But we got to take a quick break right now and send it over to the studio. All right, Michael, thank you so much. Yeah, DU with that 10th natty looks pretty good. We got some fan questions for you. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that brings us to the People Want to Know. People Want to Know brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. This is a pretty good one. I think it might be Shiloh inspired, but Sarah wants to know, what's your best Coach Prime impression?
My best Coach? Y'all want me to give a Coach Prime impression?
Yeah, we want one.
Now listen, dog. Listen. If you want to perspirate, you gotta go on the field and you gotta be a dog, man. There are dogs, and then there are leaders. You don't gotta be a leader to be a dog. You ain't gotta be a dog to be a leader. I was both. At the end of the day, I'm both. You ain't gonna be another prime time, baby. There ain't gonna be another prime.
I love it.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
Winner.
Not the best. I wish you had given me the Coach Nick one. I would have been like, oh yeah, Coach Nick was insane.
I don't know if that's I don't know if we can bleep out enough Coach Nick. I feel like Coach Nick was always.
No. But no, I feel like Coach Nick was definitely the most passionate person on our team for sure. Like, he was insane. I loved him. It was great coach.
That's awesome. We wish him luck, of course, in his next stop as well. All right, that was the People Want to Know. It always goes to you so fast by Common Spirit. Coming up next, we're going to take a look at some of those scouting reports that they always put out. We'll talk about those on the other side here on Xfinity Monday Live. And we are so happy to have Jordan Domineck here before the NFL draft, before you head back to Florida. And we're going to play a little round of fact or fiction. You know, I always think scouting reports are pretty funny, these words they use. So let's go through some of Jordan Domineck's scouting reports. You can tell me if these are true or not.
Okay.
First one, fact or fiction. Your draft report says you have nimble feet to chase running backs and quarterbacks to the sideline.
I'm gonna say that's a fact.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna say that's
Wasn't nimble feet.
Just being able to move your feet, just having good coordination, just being able to get downhill fast, just being able to pick up speed fast, you know.
I love it. All right. Fact or fiction? It says Jordan Domineck is tough against the run, playing with a firm base when setting the edge.
I feel like that's a fact. That was definitely something that Coach Nick would press on this past year. He was watching my scouting report from before, and he realized that, you know, I could do a lot better in the run game. So that was something that we emphasized. So I feel like that's a fact.
I absolutely love it. All facts here. That's all we can have. Jordan, good luck next week. We can't wait to hear your name called. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much. It was an honor and a blessing.
Guys, thanks for joining us. We will see you tonight at 10 o'clock.